the trick to getting the best result is to let your body heal. The easier you take it, the quicker you're going to heal, the better your results are going to be. I can't stress to you enough the importance of taking it easy. No going to the gym, no heavy lifting, don't do anything to jeopardize what we did here today.
Most definitely.
The easier you take it, the quicker you heal, the better the results. And I can't stress to you enough the importance of it. When you look at yourself straight on, just kind of envision, yeah.
Yeah.
So that gives us plenty of forehead, okay? Still gives us a nice natural recession, not too much forehead, but right on the money.
Yeah.
And then that'll square that off so that won't open up. Alright, we just got done harvesting Ryan's donor here. We initially pulled out, if you look over here, about 30 square centimeters of tissue. 30 square centimeters of tissue will yield us about 6,000 plus hairs. What I want you to look at now is I want you to look at the amount of transaction. So we're looking at the strips, and now we're trying to see if we cut any follicles. So I just harvested this donor. A transected follicle means a hair is cut. So the bulb, here's the bulb of the follicle, and then here's the follicle itself. So if a hair is cut, you'll see a cut hair. So from the top to bottom intact. You'll notice there's not any transection. Here's the transected hair, there's a transected hair, that hair is cut. But if you follow this strip, you'll see that the strip has virtually no transection. And this is what separates me from everybody else who does hair transplants with the strip technology, is I don't transect the follicles. Bulb follicle, everything is intact, okay? This is what makes the yield higher. There's no way around it. When you're harvesting donor hair, you will transect some follicles, period. I don't care who you are. You can be the best in the world, you're cutting follicles. There's no way around it. Now, the best doctors are going to have the least amount of transection. They're going to get you your highest yield. I'm not saying I get perfect strips each and every time, but I consistently get this, and that's how I get the results I'm getting. Then this goes to my staff, and then they go cut it under microscopes, one by one, to make sure that we preserve that follicle, to make sure we get the highest yield. And that's how we're maximizing our result. We're moving as much as we can move, we're cutting it, taking it out perfectly, and then we're dissecting it under magnification to get perfect grafts. And look at that, the entire way across, we got ourselves a beautiful suture line. Now you can see that underneath here, okay, that's where we harvested the donor. So as I do all my follow-ups, I'm always showing the patients where I start. Now you can see how I took it out. Now you'll be able to see the suture line. That goes the entire way across. Hair covers up on top of hair. So once again, now you can see it hidden under the hair. So the hair covers up on top of the hair, that suture line, so you can't see anything at all. This is just wet. When that's dry, that'll fall just nicely and you won't be able to see anything. There's that suture line, the whole way around, all the way as far as I can get them. So from one side to the other side, as long as I can go, as wide as I can go, I get what I can get, and all that's going to be in our areas up top. So right now we're creating the hairline with the tiny little one hair grafts. In a moment I'm going to show the camera what these individual grafts look like. I already showed you how the strips came out. The strips came out perfect. We got an extremely high yield. We're going to get Ryan a lot of hair. And then once the hairline's done, I'm going to start filling it with some density grafts. The density grafts are the multiple follicular unit grafts, which are 2 or 3 of the bundles naturally grouped together, which allow me to achieve more density from the patient. And that's the main thing that I'm doing differently than everybody else, and that's what I want the rest of the industry to do. Are these multiple follicular unit grafts. I will get you as much hair as I possibly can get you, and it's up to you from there to take care of it.
One of the biggest things I thought was really neat too, was checking out your site, was that the guy who had the burn victims with the water,
Yes.
And how, you know, it's on your site, I think you were saying that people said that it could never work for him.
He was told time and time again no one wanted to touch him. because of his scars. And,
and you can't tell now. I mean, it looks...
One of the things I do, and I have no problem with this getting on the internet or someone hearing it, if someone has a good sob story, like Raheem's, okay, I do their case for them gratis, no charge. Because if they really have a real story, I'm not talking about cosmetic hair loss, I'm talking about hair loss from a trauma. Like we help vets out, military vets, a guy just got shrapnel, blew his eyebrow off, I restored his eyebrow for him. I recently had a young lady that got burned in a house fire, I restored her hair for her. So anybody who's got a good story like that, I'm more than happy to help out.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that Raheem was one of those cases. Okay, so we showed you what those strips look like once they were harvested. Now I'm going to show you what they look like once they're dissected. What you're looking at here is a one-hair graft. This is the ball of the follicle. That's the follicle itself. This is a follicular unit. A follicular unit could have 2 hairs. A follicular unit could have 3 hairs. A follicular unit might even have 4 hairs, depending on the density of the follicular unit. A multiple follicular unit graft will have 2 or 3 of those follicular units in it. We don't implant these. These are, we're just showing you how it works. So the follicular unit goes behind these little 1-hair, 2-hair grafts to create more density. As you can see, this has double the amount of hair than these have, which creates double the density, and still will get the natural appearance. So just ignore this top row and notice the difference of how this is double this. This here is double that. So if I were to split that, I can create this. So the more I dissect a follicle up, the more grafts I get, but in actuality I get less hair. So that's why we want to keep these grafts intact to create that density. That's why we call them density grafts. These are for softening, to make a soft natural hairline, 1 hair at a time. These are to transition into the density grafts, and here's where we get our density.
Okay, Ryan, we're almost finished with your procedure today. So far, how do you feel about it? How's your day been?
Yeah, it's been really good. Really good. I feel very comfortable. There hasn't been any pain.
We were talking about the different grafts and where we go and how we implant them. These 1-hair grafts go in the frontal hairline all the way around in the entire hairline, so that way it looks super soft and super natural. The 2, 3-hair grafts will go behind the 1-hair grafts to blend in behind it to create a little more density. The multiple follicular unit grafts will go even further back to create the density, and they're blended in with these little ones in between so you can't see them. We want the industry to pick this up because we want them to use these stronger grafts to get more hair for the patients, to get the patient through this process quicker. That's why we want everyone to do this, because it's going to help everybody. It's going to help the industry, and it's going to help the patient most importantly. We also use that multiple follicular unit graft in the back. We started to create this spiral pattern. So by putting that multiple follicular unit graft in the back, creates more density, and these will be undetectable as you'll see when this grows out. So this is the spiral I built. This goes all the way around. It's going to blend in and around, and then you can see where he has hair. We're not putting the hairs because we want to get the most out of it and putting it where it needs the most today. It's going to do the preventative treatments that's going to help hopefully hold on to that hair in that bridge, and then hopefully we'll be able to wind them up in one more procedure. Alright, so the procedure went absolutely perfect. We were able to harvest, we got you about 32 square centimeters of tissue, which yields you about 6,500 to 7,000 hairs based on your density. Wow. So one excellent, I was able to do everything we talked about. So the camera can see, we harvested Ryan all the way from over here. This is just a little, it's not completely dry, but as you can see when it does dry, completely covers. That's the area where we took that suture line from.
Still growing.
So we harvested that all the way around. We harvested him all the way to his other side. As you can see, this is white, it's not too clean to dry, and that goes all the way around. Now, what we did for Ryan today is we did exactly what we said. We recreated the hairline, so we built them in all the way around. So these are the grafts. So this is his new hairline that you're seeing here. So it's nice and soft and staggered, it's just the way we talked about. So those are the little 1-hair grafts all the way around the front. Then what we did is we did the little 2, 3-hair grafts behind that, and then we used the stronger grafts back there for the density. We did what we went for the most bang for the buck, meaning that we put the hair exactly where he needs it. He needed it in the front and he needed it in the back. We create a little bit of a spiral in the back with some little ones around the edges to blend in. And so that way we hit the two most important areas, the front and the back. He had hair in the center, so that way when this grows out, it will look like he's got his hair back. Then he'll come back probably one more time in about a year. We'll probably either tighten the hairline up or close the crown, or we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how he does. Hi, how are you? We're here with our patient Ryan. He's here just for a quick little follow-up at the month point. I just want to show you how he's progressing as far as where the hairline is and what's happening as far as initial growth. We did a max size case on Ryan where we harvested him all the way from one side over here all the way to the other side over there and just got as much hair as we possibly could for him. So this is the beginning of the suture line. And then this goes around. You can see this little line here. This is the suture line, and this is at the month point. Now this is going to continue to heal over the next month, over the next year, excuse me. And then you can see at the month point, it's already undetectable. See this little line here? That's the suture line. So that little discoloration that you're seeing here, this little discoloration will go away. But what's important is to see is how nicely this is healed in a month. And he could cut his hair probably right now with a 2-blade and you won't even be able to see this. Here now you can really see the line itself because now you got some real color. But that's what it looks like. And this will be completely undetectable in about another, let's say, month or so. You probably won't be able to see any of that redness at all. That'll all clear up. We transplanted Ryan's entire hairline. We went all the way across. He's got really initial growth coming in. See these little hairs? That's a little micrograft starting to come in. These are some hairs that actually grew faster. In general, it takes a solid 3 to 4 months for all the initial hairs to start to grow on the first transplant. And then those hairs have to grow out at a ½ inch a month thereafter. We transplanted Ryan's crown, and then we created a spiral that follows the natural pattern of his hair. So this little area that's open now, you're not going to be able to see in a few more months once the hairs start to grow in. And how was the whole process for you? How did everything go?
It was very good. Very smooth. I mean, no pain or anything.
Hello, I'm Josh. I work with Dr. Bolton every day, and this is Ryan, his patient. What I'm going to show you today is the beginning growth. Ryan is just 1 month out, and we just want to encourage him a little bit because he really doesn't see a whole lot of change from when he first came in the door, which is normal. You don't really see much of a change for 4 to 6 months, but this is a tool that we use to show that yes, there are hairs growing, and usually quite a bit. So this is 50 times magnification. You can see on the screen the actual weaves of my shirt, and we're going to go into Ryan's scalp and show you his new growth. So let me just stay out of the way of the screen. We're going to go into Ryan's hairline, his frontal hairline. Dr. Bolton transplanted his whole area of loss from front, the 2 areas that are exposed where he's thinning and balding, and the back. So let's go into that frontal hairline, look on the screen, and see his new hairs that are starting to grow. So let's focus in here. Those short little hairs that you see just emerging from his scalp are brand new transplanted hairs. And he's actually got a lot of new growth in his frontal hairline. That is a beard length hair. They're not really doing anything because they don't have their length, they don't have their width, their maturation is not complete, but it will continue to improve over these next months.
Look at that.
See if you can get the comb through. What's up with that?
Let's see. Wow, look at that. Look at all that hair. Look at all that hair. I can get pick a side, right or left. I love it, buddy. I love it. Chin up one down here. Cool. Other side.
Look at that one.
Towards the back wall. Chin up a little bit here. Let's check these out and see how that goes. Thank you. Alright, check this out, Nick. Let's see how we did.